Chapter 11.3, rotations. So 11.1 was translations. Remember, that's moving things backwards and forwards and up and down. Okay, 11.2 was reflections. So it's like a mirror image. It could be this way, or it could, be this way, or, over different lines. Okay, 11.3 is rotation. So we're taking that thing and we're rotating it. So there's lots of different ways that we can take an image and move it around. And here's another way. And I thought this was a cool picture of a windmill. They, according to the picture, it said it's one of the oldest windmills out there. Okay. So a rotation is a transformation, just like we talked about. It's one of the many. Okay, in which a figure is turned about a fixed point called the center of rotation. So rays drawn from the center of rotation to a point and its image form the angle of rotation. Okay, so we've got this, it looks like a crooked flag, okay, and it has moved 40 degrees. So that's the angle of rotation, and this is the pivot point. Okay, and unless I say otherwise, everything in this chapter, the rotations are counterclockwise. That's just something to keep in mind. Okay, so here is an example. Let's say we have this line right here. We've got this point. Okay, there's A, and it is rotated. Okay, rotated to A prime, 130 degrees. Okay, so that's 130 degrees from here to here. Okay, if we take it a little farther to A double prime, it is this one right here, which is 220, and then almost all the way around the whole circle, A triple prime here is 310 degrees. Okay, so those are just some examples. Now, the most commonly used angles are a 90-degree angle, 100 degrees, and 270 degrees. So I just wanted to point that out to you. If I am going from this point right here, so say this is A prime, a 90-degree angle is right here. So that's A, oh I'm sorry, that's A, this is A prime. Okay, it's a right triangle, or a right angle, right? So that's 90 degrees. Okay, if I want to go to 180, that's over here. That would be A double prime. Okay, and that comes along right there. That's 180 degrees. And lastly, we have 270, and shocker, it's down here. There's A triple prime, and that's if we came clear around like this. That's 270 degrees. Okay, now all of this whole thing, this little plus sign I made, can be shifted. It's not always going to be just like that. It could be tilted just a little bit. But I did want to point that out to you. So just like the transformation of reflections, rotations also have rules, just like the others. So please, I want you to write this down because you're going to need it. So go ahead and pause and write those down. Okay, so let's look at some examples using these. Let me see how much time we've got. Okay. All right, so we're going to graph a quadrilateral, RSTU, and we're going to also do graph the image after a 270, let's see, we're going counterclockwise, a 270 degree rotation, whoop, all around like that. Okay, so R is 3, 1, S is 5, 1, T is 5, negative 3, I guess I should have written these up here, huh? 5, negative 3, so 1, 2, 3, that's T, and U is 2, negative 1. That's kind of Interesting. So all of this is going to be rotated around 270 degrees. Now hopefully you remember from looking at the other one that if we're rotating in a 270 degree rotation, AB is going to go to B negative A. See, I don't even have it memorized, there's so many of them. Okay, so we just need to say R, 3, 1, goes to R prime, which is B, and then negative A. S, which is 5, 1, goes to S prime, which is flip the 2 and make the A negative. Okay, T, just 5, negative 3, goes to T prime, which is going to be negative 3, negative 5, and U, 2, negative 1, U prime is B, negative 1, and then A is a negative 2. So let's graph those and see what that looks like. All right, R prime, 1, negative 3, 1, 2, 3. There's an R prime. S prime is 1, negative 5. T is negative 3, negative 5. And U prime is negative 1, negative 2. I did something wrong there, didn't I? Negative 1, negative 2. What did I do wrong? B gets switched, and A becomes negative. Negative 1, negative 2. R is 1. Oh, R is 1, 1, 2, 3. Good, I'm glad I made that mistake. S is 1, negative 5. T is negative 3, negative 5. And U is negative 1, negative 2. Good. So if we took this and flipped it around and rotated it around, it would look like this. And I feel like I have made a mistake.